Hey Capricorn, it's Amanda and I'm here to do your March 2019 tarot reading, and I'm going to use the traditional Rider-Waite deck for the spread, and then I'm going to pull an end advice card from the Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. So let's get started. What is going on for Capricorn for March 2019? What energies are coming up for March for Capricorn? What do they need to know the most to get through the energies in the best way possible for all? What does Capricorn need to know the most for March 2019? Oh, those ones are too many. Hope everything's going well this month so far. So we had the Judgment card in reverse for the central message or focus. And then we have the Ace of Swords crossing that. Let's get another card here for Capricorn for March 2019 for the root of the central focus here. Ooh, okay. Seven of Swords. What is the recent past here for Capricorn? Man, you have a lot to say, Capricorn. You aren't wasting any time. Four of Swords in the reverse. What's crowning Capricorn in this situation for March 2019? Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'll shuffle through here one more time and then I will cut and pull whatever hasn't fallen out by then. Which might not be a whole lot. Okay, that is a little too many. We'll give it one good shuffle here, and then we'll cut and pull the rest. Crowning is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And then in the near future, we have Queen of Pentacles. Where you are currently in the situation, Capricorn, is the Two of Cups reversed. Your environment is the Eight of Swords. Hopes and fears, Eight of Wands reverse, and the outcome, if this energy persists as it is Three of Cups reversed. So let's start from the beginning here. And the bottom of the deck, we have the Devil. So overall energy is the Devil. So toxic situation, it did come out reversed. So this is gonna be like a toxic situation that is kind of fading out. Isn't ending yet, but it's losing momentum, okay? Overall energy. And also the Devil is the Capricorn card, so go figure. Judgment in reverse. This is either a lack of judgment. It did come out upside down, but this is the Judgment card. Judgment can be like an awakening kind of too. Or maybe there's just a lack of being able to make a fair judgment. And when it's a major arcana like this, I usually would say that it's a delay, just a slowdown or a prolonging of some sort of insight or fair judgment, and it's crossed by the Ace of Swords. So Ace of Swords is sometimes like new perspective, a new way of thinking, a new belief. It could be a conversation. So there might be more to that, and let's keep going, and depending on how this unfolds. Root of all of this is Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is a deceptive type of energy, kind of a sneaky, manipulative or shady. Could be like stealing or just having like jealousy or negative thoughts. It's just a kind of a shady energy. So let's see, in the recent past, either you're probably going through this right now or you're just coming out of this, a lack of being able to take a step back and get a rounded look on things. Maybe there's less time for you to do like your meditations if you do that, not being able to do that as well or not at all due to time or whatever the case is, but just not being able to really take a step back and take a rest and kind of recharge your batteries. So that's what is either coming to an end very soon or that you have just recently come out of, Capricorn. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. This is not getting the reward yet and putting in a lot of work already in time, and it's just like not adding up, and you're not getting what you're receiving, or you're not receiving what work and effort and time that you're putting into something, and you are realizing how much that, you know, has added up to, and you're not getting a reward about it yet. In the upright, it would be like finally getting it after almost wondering if you should walk away and like reassessing it. But it's like you're not reassessing it, or you're not getting the reward yet, or seeing equal reciprocation or whatever it is that you were aiming for. You're not seeing it, and it was expected to be here already. Queen of Pentacles in the upright is in the near future, Capricorn. This is good. This is probably your energy here. It's just like the inner security. This inside is all like stable and secure and calm and grounded. So that's a good upcoming energy for you. But right now, you aren't feeling like there's some sort of like cooperation, or maybe somebody's just not like giving what you are. Again, like the Seven of Pentacles reverse. It's like there isn't someone who's a team player like they should be, or that you think that they should be, okay? And you're not seeing it when you feel like it should be that way, or it should be that way by now, or whatever the case is. That's just what your current energy is. It's just supporting that a little bit more, I believe. So in your environment, it's like feeling trapped. So either your environment is making you feel trapped, or someone in your environment feels that way, or maybe there's just a lot of restriction in your environment and obstacles. This could be a lot of just like mental stuff too, not like your mental, but like what you're thinking and the things that you know, assume, or you know, some of the negative thoughts that maybe hang around a little more than they should. But if you notice, she has a blindfold on, and she's in this circle of all these swords tied up, but she doesn't see that there's an opening and she could easily wiggle loose and get out. She just has to open up and see that. So that indicates for me that whatever the restriction or negativity and feeling restricted or trapped or whatever is not necessarily the ultimatum. It's like there is a way out, you just have to look harder, or there's just something that you're missing here that would be a way out of it, or to overcome like the speed bumps or obstacles in the environment. Eight of Wands in reverse. This is like fear, like this is your hopes and fears position. This is lack of movement. Things won't be moving along like you want them to, or maybe you're hoping that they don't. It could go either way, but maybe it's a little bit of both. You're scared that if they move along fast, it'll be a lot of work, or maybe you're just worried that it just won't because of all this unequal effort or lack of seeing results as soon as you had thought. Three of Cups in the reverse is the outcome if everything persists the way it is. So this is like a lack of being able to celebrate, or lack of like a group setting and like having fun, or like let's say maybe you just don't have time to do the fun things you did before. this could be, you know, coming out of a like situation where you had, you know, maybe a group of friends, some people had to move home or unable to like jive with the same people that you were able to before. Maybe it's just that you can't celebrate something that you would like to, but it could just also be a delay as well. So let's talk about the Judgment with the Ace of Swords over it. So whatever is causing this lack of judgment is that deceptive energy. Maybe you had maybe in your environment, somebody is being kind of not honest, and because you haven't been able to take the time to do like your like recharging of your batteries or just rejuvenating, getting enough sleep or being able to meditate as much, it's like it clouded up your fair judgment here with the central theme, and it's in reverse. And like I said before, this Ace of Swords sometimes can be a discussion or conversation, or it could just be an insight. So it's like whatever this deceptive energy is, and you not being able to kind of take care of yourself in a way where you can step back and kind of see everything and, you know, rejuvenate your energy and center yourself and just kind of get everything back into a balanced state. Whatever that is has caused you to not see something clearly enough, or just have like you missed something here, or somebody in your environment is literally having a discussion with you and it's deceptive in a way, or they bring you news that you didn't necessarily want to hear that maybe has something to do with something not coming in as soon as you had thought, with that Seven of Pentacles in reverse crowning. So something that you had expected to come in, some reward or like cooperation or whatever it is that you had been kind of expecting as a result of whatever you're focused on, is stagnated because you aren't able to either do something because of this news you hear from this person in your environment. Because the reason I keep saying environment is because the root is swords, a deceptive energy, or dishonest, or just kind of like, you know, unequal or not fair. And then not being able to rejuvenate the batteries, swords again. And then the Ace of Swords crosses the Judgment here. And then the only other place swords shows up is in the environment here. So instantly my eye drew to that. And it's like, maybe somebody's letting you or leading you on to think that they don't have, that they're stuck in something that they're not really, as much as they're leading on. Or maybe like they're just being really negative and they aren't willing to like dig out. I don't know, like something about that blindfold and how the like gray laced into the sky, and he was looking back at these swords on the table here. So it's like they're not seeing something, or you're unable to, about the situation because of the lack of recharge. And it's either they're just like, you know, they don't want to like get out of that, or like either that, or they're just leaving something out that you needed to know, or you weren't able to normally pick it out like you normally would have been able to because of this lack of basically like sleep and meditation and just like a relaxing day. Like take a day for you maybe, because this has clouded your judgment in a way. But regardless, you will be coming into a state where you are feeling balanced. So maybe you will take the time to do this, to recharge, to kind of just take a break from everything and stop worrying so much about everything not moving along with the Eight of Wands in the reverse. You know, don't worry too much about that because it's already wearing on you and it's affecting things. So maybe your insight or like perspective is tainted in a way because of you just not being on top of it. You need some rest or some fun because this is what would happen if it kept going. Maybe you did, but you did it too late after this happened. But something's not coming in the way it was supposed to in your eyes, and you aren't cooperating, or you feel like what you wanted isn't working out for you. I want to pull a clarifier here on this Seven of Swords for the root of the message. What information can I have around this Seven of Swords for Capricorn, March 2019? Tell me more, please, about this Seven of Swords. Or this is Five of Swords. I'm sorry. Gosh, it's the same meaning. I don't know why I keep saying seven. Maybe that means something. But yeah, it's the same deceptive, like, walking away. See how he has a smirk and he's got all the swords and the other two are on the ground. Other people are walking away, kind of shrugged off. Like, he got ahead and maybe is being a little happier about it than he should be. Either way, it's not like a great, like, one up for that person anyways, but this is just the energy of the card. It doesn't have to be like a he or she or whatever. It could just be like a situation that has that energy around it too. But like, there was like a struggle or a battle or a change that happened, and like everybody kind of walked away wounded, and maybe somebody was being a little dishonest or shady or just being negative, right? And it is from the 4 to the 5 of Swords. Like, the recent past is the 4 of Swords in reverse, and then the 5 of Swords comes next as the root. These two flew out. So I have the Tower and the 9 of Wands. So this is like after things are wrapping like up, you put up, you know, a lot of work with this 9 of Wands into something, and you're kind of like wanting it to be done, but you're not giving up. But it's like, okay, I'm over this, let's do this. It's wrapping up, it's almost over. You're just kind of getting through that last wind, but then the Tower comes in and shakes something up. So it's like a sudden change and in some sort of a review process here, which would make sense because with the 9 of Wands, it's like 9 and 10 are both kind of like an end and a beginning, but with 9, it's more like reviewing everything after, you know, putting on the like last touches, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, like giving it another look before you like wrap it up or whatever it is, just like the last touches and review. And then 10 is technically both a beginning and an end. So it's like there's a shake up and a sudden change, some really quick unexpected change that happens around something that was supposed to be getting wrapped up and ended. Like right when you were thinking this door was closed, something happened, and it was either just negative, or it was you found out something that you didn't know, or somebody tells you some information or news. A blockage to judgment. So maybe because you hear news, or maybe somebody tells you something, it clouds your judgment and you aren't able to get things wrapped up and get the result you wanted or get the deadline met, or something wasn't able to, like I said, happen when you had expected it to. I want to clarify here this 2 of Cups for Capricorn, where they are currently in this energy and situation for March. What more can I find out about this 2 of Cups in the reverse? King of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so it's like you're coming out of a, well, you're coming out of a state where you had focused on like outwardly things and money. Maybe money is just what wasn't really working for you right now, or there's just everything around you is chaotic. It's not like you don't feel good. It's not like you aren't okay. You might need a little rest, but like your inner stability is okay. It's more of like the things around you that aren't going in your way, right? Like all the little things, all the little speed bumps and obstacles that get in your way, like your environment here. So I think that this is just the environment. I think that you just aren't seeing that this is just, you know, negative energy around you or something, and it's probably because you aren't rested, or because you need to meditate more, or maybe you just need to take a step back from whatever it is you're going through here so you can regain that judgment for the main focus with that Ace of Swords. Like, you need to be able to take a step back and evaluate everything. It's like you suddenly aren't able to do the last touches and review properly, and that's where the lack of judgment comes. And because of that, you aren't able to get that reward with the Seven of Pentacles reversed that you'd wanted when you thought it was coming, or you weren't able to like get into that meditative state, or you're being dishonest about it in a way. Whatever this is that keeps getting in your way in the environment, though, it's an illusion. So try to maybe do that. Take a step back. Look at everything, good and bad, objectively, and see if you can find what maybe you were missing when the blindfold was on. There might be something that you overlooked or you didn't think of that would be a solution, and maybe would get you around these like negative speed bumps, or just all these little like things that just keep getting in your way, right? Because the Queen of Pentacles is where you're going to be in the near future. It's like you have that inner stability and your groundedness. Your inner world's okay, security wise, but King of Pentacles can be more of like an outwardly focus in a tangible way. So it's like our security, stability. It's like this Two of Cups where you feel like this isn't working for you in a way, or like something isn't going your way, which is probably this Eight of Swords in your environment. These little things that you just, it's like no matter what you can do, like everything just keeps getting in the way or popping up. It's outward focus with the King of Pentacles here. So it's, yeah, you're okay on the inside, you're stable, you're good. You just need to be able to take a step back from this and take a closer look, and maybe some of these obstacles or negativity or just like things that keep getting in your way are avoidable. Maybe there's some things you could move around or plan differently that would get rid of that, because it's like not being able to take your time to recharge kind of scatters you around, and you aren't able to see something that could be avoided here. I do want to clarify as well that Three of Cups in reverse. What is going on with this Three of Cups in reverse for Capricorn? What more can I find out about that, please? Thank you for the messages so far. What does this Three of Cups mean? Is this friends? Is this just lack of fun? Lack of emotional fulfillment because of all this? And just like lack of time to recharge leads to emotional unfulfillment? Or what is going on for the outcome card here, Capricorn? Three of Cups in reverse. Okay, Three of Pentacles. So you aren't able to work together in some way, or collaborate, or build. So it's like you aren't able to go forward with whatever plan this is, and maybe there's something to do with this information you get about some third party, and it's not true. Because, and the reason I say that is because it's like somebody tells you something and there's that deceptive energy. Swords is communication. That would be pretty abrupt with the Tower there. And then, like, because you aren't taking your time to recharge, or you are just so invested in this and there's that lack of judgment with that harsh conversation, Ace of Swords, like, you aren't able to, like, examine the information that you are being presented, or whoever tells you this. It's like you get freaked out and you don't see something, and it's not true, because this is in reverse and this is in reverse, and you had a lack of judgment with the Ace of Swords. So it's either the news you get is incorrect and deceptive, or you aren't able to clearly, like, perceive it or see through it in a way, because of you're spreading yourself just too thin, and you're worried that this isn't going to give you that Two of Cups. It's like you're worried it's not going to work now. Two of Cups sometimes can be about love. I mean, it's not always. It's more of like a equal effort. Both people are giving as much, and it doesn't always have to be love. It could be like whatever it is that you're emotionally invested here, that you were hoping for that outcome, for that reward, for all the work and time you've been putting in, and it wasn't here like you'd expected. It's like you aren't getting that equal give and take. And it's something to do with an outwardly focus. So it's like you aren't seeing it in somebody and whatever it is, and you're worried that that's going to, like, put things to a halt. Eight of Wands too. We have Nine of Wands. So it's like you're worried that you aren't able to, like, decide for you are worried that, like, you aren't able to tell if somebody's telling you the truth. You're like, is this, like, this is okay. So these are 2 review cards right here. Well, kind of 3, but more so these 2. The Nine of Wands, like I said before, like, that 9 is like the cross your T's, dot your I's, recap things and get ready for, you know, things to get wrapped up and move on to the next thing. And then this is like taking a look at all of the work you've put in. See how he's looking down at that pile of pentacles with that shovel, and he's like looking at it like he's thinking, maybe reviewing and reassessing whether to keep going or not. But there was a lack of that. So it's like a lack of being able to take a step back again and review and take inventory of, you know, how much time, how much work you put in, and what are you getting back. And then this is like an abrupt, decisive way of that. So it's like you're almost like worried. It's like you don't trust yourself, or you are worried that you just really want this, and like your judgment is clogged. But if it's not you not being able to tell if this is truth or not, then it is literally you, like, hearing news that is truth and you feel stuck because of it, and it's due to a lack of sleep. Maybe you messed something up on a, like, little thing that you were doing, and you were just trying to get all of this stuff done because you were worried that you weren't going to be able to push through. Like, this wasn't good, like a lack of movement, a lack of action, a lack of communication, anything. I would say it's got to be like a lack of just things moving along, and because of that you might have slipped up a little bit and like made some error, and that's why you aren't getting the reward that you expected so early. And somebody tells you about it, and yeah, you're okay, but you're not going to get what you wanted now, and your environment is blocking you a little bit. But it's like, you know, things aren't going to work out for now. It's delayed. It's not out of the picture though, because the energy is still showing up. So there is building and there is going to be celebration, but you might have to give it a second run and just make sure you take your rest. Make sure you are maybe try meditating if you don't, or make sure you're consistently making time for it. Whatever it is, it's be making sure that you're looking over all the things that you're doing and looking at the details and just giving everything a second, third run over before you submit or pass on to the next thing, because there's a lot of indication of lack of judgment and not seeing something, and lack of the review process in itself. So you will most likely, if this is something you want, be able to push forward with this. It's just not going to happen for March, I don't believe. So there's just a delay, if that's going to be like a work thing for you. If this is like love or friends or something, then I would say that you hear something and somebody did something, you hear some truth, somebody tells you some news, and you missed it because you were so spread thin. And you're worried that you're not going to be able to go on with this anymore, and maybe you don't. Maybe that's where you are now. Maybe you just cut off something with somebody. Maybe you had just broken up with someone. That's why this Two of Cups is in reverse. If that's for you, then I would let you know that when these came out in reverse, that's an indicator that there is no third party, and to reassess the information that you have gotten after you take some time to recharge your batteries, Capricorn. Capricorn, isn't that just how it goes with the Capricorns? Always so focused on their work. Okay, let's do the Oracle advice card from the Work Your Light deck. Ooh. What final card of advice can we leave Capricorn with for March 2019? What advice can help them the most with this, Capricorn? Align your life. What is not aligned and needs to change? So again, something you're missing, something that you're not doing the review process properly on, this lack of judgment here. So you can see how she's got the mirror and she's not seeing herself clearly. It's kind of disorientated. Maybe you need to be able to reflect better, the review process. Just take inventory, take your meditation time, your sleep time, your even just a personal day to watch TV or read books or whatever it is that you do that's relaxing for you. Take that time, do the reflecting, some introspection, you know, maybe take inventory of this situation at both sides, you know, put all the information together and take a step back and look at it, because there's so much in this reading that's indicating that you're not seeing something and you're not doing things thoroughly or carefully enough when it comes to the review process. And that is why this is going to be delayed, and it's a lack of judgment. So it's like, I feel like it's a thing that you're just missing, and that you would probably be able to easily fix because of this environment. Eight of Swords. There's a way out of this. You just have to look closer. So I hope that helps, Capricorn. I hope you have a great March, and make sure you take your personal day. Thanks for liking and subscribing, and I will see you soon. Thanks.